Another interesting story, which I'd like to hear from both of you, or we'd like to hear from both of you rather, is Ravel Morrison's response to Wayne Rooney's column in the Times at the weekend, where Rooney talked about you have to have a hard work ethic alongside that. Natural talent is not enough. And he said quite famously, or now famously, that Ravel Morrison was miles ahead of both Pogba and Lingard, miles ahead. He said he remembers seeing him nutmeg Nemanja Vidic 3 times in training, but he just didn't have the work ethic required. He didn't have the work ethic of Gary Neville, that's what Wayne Rooney said. Now, Ravel Morrison, who is now 27, on loan at Middlesbrough from Sheffield United, he said actually quite a sad quote. He said, "It makes you a bit upset, but I could have gone further. I should have gone a bit further, and I'm hoping still to go a bit further." Jamie, at 27, can he go further?
No, I don't think so. I think it'd be difficult for him now. Really, this promise is not something that's gone away in the last couple of years. It's obviously, I think probably 7 or 8 years ago. Gary will know with him coming through the youth team. I mean, I wouldn't say I always hear this type of story, but it's nothing new. This type of story, someone not really fulfilling their potential. I think there's a big difference between a great talent and a great player, really, and the mental side of it. And I'm not just talking about off the pitch, I'm talking about on the pitch and the sacrifice you have to make, being professional, listening to your coaches. That's part of becoming a player. It's like when I hear someone say, okay, someone never made it because he never had any pace. Well, for me, the side I'm talking about now that maybe he's let Ravel Morrison down is also a massive part of being a footballer. So when people say he should have made it, I'm a bit like, no, because the thing that he was probably lacking is a big part of being a top player or a professional player. And that was something that he lacked. So as I said, there is a big difference between talent and being a top player. But as I say, Gary will know him better than me. It is something that's talked about. There's no doubt he had huge challenges as a young age. It's a story, sadly, that we've heard before and we'll hear in the future.
I mean, when Ravel was 13, I remember categorically Sir Alex Ferguson saying that this was the biggest talent he'd seen at the club since Ryan Giggs, and that is an enormous statement from someone like Sir Alex Ferguson. I used to commentate on MUTV on the youth team games for a number of years whilst I was playing at United, and basically that year that they won the Youth Cup, I commentated on many of those games where Paul Pogba, Jesse Lingard, Ravel Morrison were all playing. Will Keane, Michael Keane. Was a really good era for Manchester United in terms of producing young players, and Ravel was special, really special. I've still kept in touch with Ravel throughout all these years. Not often, but I still keep in touch with him because I've always had a soft spot for him. I think I don't think it was down to his attitude or lack of work rate, to be honest with you. I think that Ravel had some significant complexities and challenges in his life that I think any of us, would have found difficult to deal with, and ultimately, from that point of view, I think that they have obviously meant that he's not quite achieved what he should achieve. But the bit that I still hope for is I don't think he'll ever get to the top. I don't think he'll play for England like he maybe could have done. And there was a point where he was playing for England under 21s and he was playing for West Ham for a period up to Christmas one year, where he really, under Sam Allardyce, where he really looked like he was getting it together. What I would hope, though, is that he can have a stable life and a stable football career, and out of that, off the back of it, then obviously have something that he can focus his attention on. Because for me, the most important thing for Ravel Morrison is that he has that stability in his life to be able to go and enjoy the rest of his next 30, 40 years, that he's 50 years he's going to live. So I think he's got big challenges, and I think that ultimately I hope he can play football for a few more years. He is a big talent.